I have to tell you, there is a narrative out there that once a woman hits 50, yes, 50, her body is done. You hear it all the time. Oh, wait until you hit menopause. You'll gain weight just by looking at water. You smell something and you gain 2 pounds. And if you add a hysterectomy on top of that, forget it. People act like your metabolism just pack its bags and leaves the country and leaves you behind. So, needless to say, that I bought into that fear for a minute. But then something happened that scared me more than just gaining weight. I remember having a conversation with my primary care, and she looked at my blood work and she dropped a word that stopped me cold. She said, "Webley, you are pre-diabetic." When I heard that, I didn't just hear a medical term. It's like I had a flashback. I literally saw every single person in my family who has struggled with diabetes. I saw the health decline. I saw the people who eventually just gave up and they let the disease take over because it felt too big to fight. And in that moment, sitting in my doctor's office, I said to myself, absolutely not. Not me, not today. And it was a wake up call. So I did something radical. I I refused the fix that my doctor had suggested. She said that her husband had bariatric surgery, and she thinks that I'm a great candidate um, for bariatric surgery. Now, let me go ahead first and say that I have absolutely nothing against someone who makes the decision to have bariatric surgery or to take GLP-1s, because it all comes down to what you feel that will help you um, reach your goal, and what you also feel that works best for your healthy lifestyle. So I have nothing against that. So because I'm talking about my personal decision and what I felt that would better suit me. I refused the option of bariatric surgery because and the reason why I refused it is because there was something about your body not being able to process nutrients. And I also have a good friend who had that surgery who told me that she struggled with that. So I was like, until science discovered a better way to make this for people who have that surgery, it's a no for me. My friend had shared a lot with me, so I knew right then and there this was not the solution for me. So I told my doctor, I said no, and she listened to me and she understood, and she said, okay, well, um, let's consider other options. And we did. And guess what? I lost 25 pounds as of December 31st, 2025, and I'm still losing. And I reversed the pre-diabetes, and I didn't do it by starving myself or um, moving into the gym. Okay, so for those of you who don't know me, I'm Webley, and welcome to day 9 of my 100-day sprint. Today, I'm going to tell you exactly what I did, the 3 most important things that I did that helped. Now, before we get into the how, we have to talk about the what if. Because when I got that diagnosis, my doctor didn't say eat more broccoli. She immediately, like I said, recommended bariatric surgery. And she was very insistent. She told me that her husband did it. She told me it was the best tool, and she really wanted me to consider it. And I listened, and I was like, without judgment, her husband or anybody who considers the surgery as the best option for them, because I don't believe people should suffer to live a healthy lifestyle. Um, so if that works for anybody, I'm happy for them, because, like I said, I don't believe people should suffer. And but for me, it was more of, how do I build the habit um, in the body that I have now, with the changes that my body is supposed, with the changes that happened with my body, because I had a surgery. Like I said, on my day 8 video, I had surgery and a lot changed in my body. So I wanted to consider the options, the better options that would work best for my body, and the new lifestyle, the new healthy lifestyle that I was embarking on. And I didn't say no to bariatric surgery without getting the information, because I went through the process and got all the information. And I did that after a good friend told me about the surgery. And she told me because I told her someone that I know was considering it, and she gave me a lot of information. So I already had a lot of information, but I did go through the process of getting more information. So again, the part about it that I would say that scared me was the part about my body not being able to process nutrients on its own, because I think the type of surgery the doctor had suggested will bypass that part of my stomach. So I felt like I was trading one problem for another problem that I just didn't want to manage it. I just didn't. I went back to my doctor after considering everything, getting all the information, and I said, no, it's a no for me. I want to reach my goal in a different way, and if she can recommend different kinds of help. So she suggested a nutritionist, and they helped me put together a plan. So let's talk about the plan. The plan is 3 pillars. Pillar number 1, it might surprise you because it has nothing to do with food or exercise. It helps with exercise, but it has nothing to do with food. Pillar number 1 is rest. I used to be the woman who was always on, like the Energizer Bunny. I was running myself to the ground. But with menopause, I realized that my body was inflamed and holding on to weight simply because part of that was that I was not sleeping. So I had to learn how to literally love on myself by sleeping. And I don't mean just crashing on the couch, I mean intentional rest. So I built a routine to ensure that I get 7 to 8 hours of sleep every single night. And let me tell you, it's a whole production, okay? Because first, the bed has to be made nicely, okay? I need the ambiance to be right. So I grab my Kindle to read. And my cat, he passed, we had to put my cat to sleep, Mr. Netflix. He used to join me on the bed. Oh, I miss him. And I would make my room my sanctuary. And part of that routine is my kitchen curfew, okay? I stop eating by 7 p.m. or 8 p.m. because if I don't, my body is going to be working overtime to digest that food when it should be repairing itself at night, and I will not have a good night's sleep. So I realized that if I didn't rest, also I wouldn't have the energy to work out the next day. So I noticed that it would affect like the way that I go into my workout. So now if I have to choose between a workout and sleep, I choose sleep every time. Okay? Because if I wake up and I don't feel rested, I just skip the workout and rest instead. So once I'm very rested, then I tackle pillar number 2, which is nutrition. I know you've heard this saying that abs are made in the kitchen, right? Well, my current trainer told me that the body that you want, it starts in the kitchen. And for me, this was crucial because I was recovering from surgery. And I had surgery last March 2025. So I couldn't go crazy in the gym, although I love going crazy in the gym. There were days all I could do was walk for 15 minutes on the treadmill or do a little bit of stretching. So I knew that 80% of the result that I wanted, it had to come from the food that I was consuming. So I also focused on cutting inflammation. So I did not go zero carb. I did not do anything extreme, really. I didn't cut out food that I really like. Hello, chocolate mousse cake. I focused on high protein and high fiber because here's the trick that saved me: measurement. Because I know that nobody likes to weigh their food. It feels tedious. I know. But I realized that my eyes were also lying to me about what a portion looked like. So, and I also believe that measurement is your anchor to reality. So I started tracking again because I've done it in the past. So I started tracking, and because I have a bit of a photographic memory, once I weighed the food and a few times and I saw it on my plate, it registered. So now it becomes second nature, and I can look at a piece of chicken and know if it's enough protein for that one serving. So I stopped guessing, and the weight started coming off. And it came off gradually. So I'm talking between half a pound to 2 pounds a week. But even with the rest and the food, there was still a missing piece: the cravings, the mood swings, the brain fog. And that all of that brings me to the third pillar: medical support. Now, I think a lot of us are afraid of medical support because we feel that they are going to just pump us with a bunch of medications and we're going to be dependent on those things and they have other side effects. Um, yeah, it's true. We hear scary things, but in my case, I worked with my doctor, the new doctor, who actually listened to me, and we found a plan. I am currently on hormone therapy regimen, and it's very specific to me. And one of the medication is half a dose. The other one I only take twice a week. So I am not a doctor, and that's why I highly recommend, especially for when you reach 50 and for your healthy lifestyle journey. If you're struggling to lose weight, please, please, please consult your doctor because there are solutions out there. So, like I was saying, my doctor and we agreed that I didn't want to do anything that would hinder the weight loss. So we had to balance the chemistry. And let me tell you, it was like a light switch. Once the hormones were balanced, the insane sugar cravings that I was having, it quieted down. Um, I wasn't fighting my body anymore. And I definitely didn't feel anymore like I was a prisoner in my own body because now I was working with my body. So, in conclusion, what happened? I lost 25 pounds. The prediabetes reversed. And I did it without altering my stomach. I did it without suffering, without giving up the food that I love. So I'm sharing this because I want you to know that you have options. And if you get a scary diagnosis, take a deep breath, okay? You don't always have to take the drastic route. Sometimes the answer is just sleep more, measure your food, and find a doctor who would help you balance your hormones, especially after 50, especially when you reach menopause. So, because your body wants to heal, and you just have to give it the right environment. And with that, I will see you tomorrow for day 10.